Most criminal cases in district court have to be resolved through either a plea or a trial. So if you're considering going to trial, these are a few points that I would just ask you to consider. Number one, and the most obvious, is the merit or the merits of your defense. You really have to look at things objectively, and you can't get angry with your lawyer when he points out the strong points of the Commonwealth's case. So you need to think of your strong points, your weak points, and the same thing on the other side. And like I said, you can't be emotional, you have to be objective, you have to be honest. Second, you should at least consider attempting a plea. You don't have to accept the court's plea recommendation if you don't like it, but before you go to trial, you should at least hear what the alternative is. One thing to keep in mind, though, typically the judge who hears the plea cannot be the judge who sits for the bench trial if you decide to have a bench trial. So this could be good or bad depending on the judge. The third point to keep in mind is that when you're charged in district court, very, very often there are multiple counts. So you're charged with multiple crimes. And you need to win on every single count in order to avoid the dreaded guilty going on your record. So you can say you're charged with 4 counts, you can win on 3 of those, lose on 1, and you are guilty and you have a conviction on your record, and you don't want that. So you have to win across the board to avoid that at trial. And then lastly, this is another obvious point, but typically if you go to trial and you lose, the time for leniency and mercy, which you would have been shown during the plea stage of the case, that's usually gone, and you're going to get a harsher punishment than you would have had you done the plea. But with all that being said, if the Commonwealth case is weak, or if you're falsely accused, then you have every right legally and morally to challenge the state at trial. I've written a blog post. I'll put it in the description below.